Hold on tight, Bears fans. We've got news that's going to shake Soldier Field to its core. Ready for the bombshell? Our team is up against the ropes, and the situation is more complicated than a fourth down pass in the red zone. First, boom. Our protective wall crumbles right before the crucial game. Can the backup withstand the Vikings' onslaught? The offense is in check, and don't even get me started on our star running back. Will we witness a miracle on the field or sink even further? But wait, it gets worse. Get me the defibrillator. Officially, we're out of the playoffs. Yes, you heard that right. Years of disappointments are piling up, and the million-dollar question is, who's to blame? The draft is approaching, and our position improves with each loss. Is this a consolation, or the straw that breaks the camel's back? And for the final blow, hold on to whatever you can. The future of the management hangs by a thread. Who stays? Who goes? Rumors are flying faster than a wide receiver in the open field. Are we looking at a total cleanup or just cosmetic changes? Don't move from your seats because this is just the tip of the iceberg. If you want to know how we'll survive this perfect storm, subscribe to the channel and hit the bell. Let's unravel this mess together, Chicago. Attention, Chicago Bears fans. I've got fresh news, and let me tell you, it's not the best. What's going on with our team? Why does it always seem like we're fighting an uphill battle? Let's break it down. On Sunday, it was confirmed that our starting left tackle, Braxton Jones, suffered a concussion and has been ruled out for Monday's game against the Minnesota Vikings. This is a tough blow. I ask you, how are we going to handle this? I think Larry Borom will have to step up and fill those shoes against a Minnesota defense that's been excellent at creating confusion and pressure this season. Can Borom handle this responsibility? I say we need him to. But that's not all. We'll also be without at least 3 other players against the Vikings. The team had already ruled out offensive lineman Ryan Bates, defensive tackle Gervon Dexter Sr., and running back Rashawn Johnson. And on top of that, DeAndre Swift is once again questionable. Swift managed to play last week despite his groin injury, but if he can't go on Monday, the Bears might have to rely heavily on Travis Homer. Can Homer carry the load of the running game? I think he'll have to. Meanwhile, on the Vikings side, only cornerback Stephon Gilmore appeared on the final injury report of the week. He's questionable due to a hamstring injury he suffered 2 weeks ago. If he can't play, he'll likely be replaced by veteran Fabian Moreau. Will this be an advantage for us? I ask you, can we capitalize on this opportunity? The game is scheduled to kick off at 7 o'clock on Monday at US Bank Stadium. The Chicago Bears are looking to end a 7-game losing streak, while Minnesota wants to extend their winning streak to 7 games. Can we be the team that breaks this losing streak and turns the season around? I say it's now or never. Fans, I ask you, what do you think about these injuries and how will they affect our performance against the Vikings? Do you believe Larry Borom and Travis Homer can step up and lead the team to victory? I've got another piece of news that, let me tell you, is a low blow for all of us. We're officially out of playoff contention. How did we get to this point? I ask you, what went wrong? Shortly after it was announced that Braxton Jones would be out for the Week 15 game against the Minnesota Vikings, our playoff hopes vanished at the end of the game between the Saints and the Commanders. The Saints, with their interim coach, had the guts to go for 2 points and the win with the game on the line. It didn't work out for them, but it was the right decision. For the Bears, the bad news keeps coming. Last week's loss to the San Francisco 49ers ensured our 4th consecutive losing season. That hurts. If we lose to the Vikings on Monday, the campaign 2024 will mark our 8th year with 10 or more losses since the start of the 2014 season. Double blow. Since firing Lovie Smith after the 2012 season, we've only had 4 non-losing seasons and 1 winning season. Triple blow. Where are the Chicago Bears in the reverse order of the NFL? Here's the 2025 draft order after Sunday's games, via Tankathon. New York Giants, 212. Las Vegas Raiders, 211. Carolina Panthers, 311. Jacksonville Jaguars, 311. Tennessee Titans, 311. Cleveland Browns, 311. New England Patriots, 310. New York Jets, 410. Chicago Bears, 49. New Orleans Saints, 59. With only 4 games left in the season, the Bears could move into the top 5 with a bit of good luck. I hate that we've come to this point, but here we are, and there's no escape. This year was supposed to be different. As a fan, I feel we were lied to by a management and coaching staff that sold us false hope at the beginning of the season. Or maybe not, and this team is better than its record indicates. After all, ESPN's preseason projections ranked Chicago's roster 17th out of 32 teams. Considering that projections are cold and number-based, I see the Bears' failure to meet these projections as a reflection of poor direction and game management. However you want to see it, the results in 2024 are unacceptable. A strong finish to the 2023 season, a fresh start with the quarterback, and projected improvements in several key positions filled us with hope. And a 4-2 start made us feel good. But the Bears haven't won since returning from London. And when this season officially ends, the franchise will focus entirely on hiring a new head coach. The toxic cycle of doom continues. Fans, I ask you, do you think management and the coaching staff are primarily responsible for this season's failure? How can we break this cycle of disappointment? We all know Matt Eberflus is out. We'll have a new head coach by February next year at the latest. But the big question is, will the general manager, GM, also be part of this restructuring? Team president Kevin Warren has insisted that Ryan Poles is secure in his position and will lead the search for the next coach. Makes sense, right? Previous GMs like Jim Finks and Ryan Pace had second chances to find a coach. Poles deserves the same courtesy, don't you think? Well, apparently, not everyone inside Hollis Hall agrees. According to the latest information that has leaked, someone inside the building believes Poles deserves more blame for the team's miserable 2024 season. He hired Eberflus despite clear indications that the coach wasn't highly sought after. He signed Nate Davis despite warnings about his character. Why should he go unnoticed for the team's record? Well, it appears he might not. A source reported that potential replacements for Poles are being discreetly investigated once the season ends. The Chicago Bears might be preparing for certain scenarios. There have been indications that Poles is unhappy with the power dynamics at Hollis Hall since Warren was hired last year. Initially, he was allowed to report directly to ownership. Now that privilege is gone. Some believe he might opt to mutually part ways with the organization to preserve his reputation. There's also the possibility that some top head coach candidates might not want to work with a GM who's clearly on the hot seat. Instead of settling for someone else, the Bears might consider removing Poles and aligning those coaches with a GM they're more comfortable with. This idea isn't unprecedented. San Francisco, Seattle, and Buffalo have done something similar in recent years, and the results have been positive in all three cases. If the Chicago Bears want to land one of the big names like Ben Johnson or Mike Vrabel, it seems Poles might need to be sacrificed. In that case, they need to know more about potential candidates to replace him. There's a month left in the 2024 season. If change is coming, they need to be well prepared by then. Fans, I ask you, do you think Ryan Poles should be replaced along with Eberflus? Who do you think would be a good candidate for the GM position? And how will this affect our search for the next head coach? Bears fans, I ask you, what do you think about the recent injuries and how do you think they'll affect our performance against the Vikings? Do you trust that Larry Borum and Travis Homer can step up and lead the team to victory? Also, do you think management and the coaching staff are primarily responsible for this season's failure? What changes do you think are necessary to break this cycle of disappointment? Finally, do you think Ryan Poles should be replaced along with Eberflus? Who do you think would be a good candidate for the GM position, and how will this affect our search for the next head coach? We want to hear your opinions and be part of this conversation. Join our community and subscribe to the channel. Together, we're stronger and can take the Bears to new heights. Leave your comments, subscribe, and be part of this great Bears fan family. See you in the next video. Bear down.